What's up, everybody? Fortexfiend here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel with another video on SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, where I'm going to be talking about some pieces of news that they've just announced for content that is upcoming within the game. And then afterwards, I have a little bit of speculation in terms of a particular piece of content that we're going to be getting really soon, and I want to know what your guys' thoughts are of that. But before we go ahead and get started, you guys know the drill. If you enjoy what you see on the channel, hit that subscribe button. Shoot that notification bell, that way you're not missing out on future uploads. Leave a like or dislike and comment down below if you've seen the news so far and what we're going to be getting soon, what you guys think. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is going to be the Hathaway main stage is added. This is going to be happening on November 30th. So they're going to be adding some new stages that's going to be featuring Mobile Suit Gundam Brilliant Hathaway. If you guys don't know what Hathaway is, Hathaway Noah is the son of Bright Noah. So this is going to be following the storyline of Universal Century. To my knowledge from researching this is based off of novels that is based on this storyline. So there is no anime or manga to, at least from what I've seen. And if there is, let me know in the comment section below. But it is kind of cool that they're pulling from different pieces of content, not just an anime or not just a manga, but they also do, like, for example, Blue Destiny originally came from a Sega Saturn game, and now we have something coming from a novel. So we're going to be getting some main stages added, which means more development units, such as the Penelope, which is announced right there. And then we'll just have to see which URs are going to be featuring, if there is going to be a banner that's going to be coinciding with this. This is going to be starting on the 30th of November, JST, which is very, very exciting. Next, also coming out on the 30th is going to be the special stage, the Change Makers. So this one is new to me, but essentially the Change Makers is a special scenario stage, and this is set 105 years after the beginning of the Universal Century. So this is going to be talking about the origins of the consequential figures that rose up against the Earth Federation. So probably the figures that are more so involved with, like, Zeon, for example, or anybody that essentially opposed the Earth Federation. So again, for those of you that love Universal Century, this is going to be a lot of fun and really cool content for us to experience. And then finally, we're also getting another Fierce Enemy Assault on the 30th. This is going to be featuring the full armor Gundam Mark III. It's going to be challenging us. Don't forget, when it comes to these Fierce Enemy Assaults, we're also going to be getting the previous ones that we've battled before. There's now challenge missions, as we know, so plenty of ways to earn free diamonds, you know, some free modification equipment and all that cool stuff that comes from that, as well as farming materials that we could use to level up weapon skills and things like that. But all in all, I think that's going to be cool. And then they also did tease that there's going to be another music volume pack. This is going to be number 3. I'm still refusing to buy those. I personally still think they're a ripoff. Some people find value in them. I know some people that have bought them. I just don't think they're a good buy, because you could listen to all these tracks for free on, like, YouTube or something. But hey, it's coming out on the 30th as well, so that's something to look forward to. Okay, so I want to move over to the upcoming Master League Season 6, which is going to be featuring alternative series and one-shot killer. And this is where my speculative thought process is going to be for this particular piece of content. So first of all, this is going to be coming out on the 21st of November, which is this week, 12 JST. So for those of us in the Pacific time zone, this should be what, around, like, now that we're daylight savings time, it's like what, 7 p.m. PST. And then for those of you that are in other time zones, you could just kind of like calculate it there. But that's when this is going to come out. And the reason why I want to speculate around this is because of the one-shot killer tag. Now, why do you ask, you know, 40, why are you speculating around that tag? Well, as we've seen, they have recently started re-releasing some limited time URs. The first one that we saw re-released was Anival Gato's Nuke Gundam, the Gundam GPO-3A with that AOA nuke. And as we've seen, when they re-released that, they did buff it a little bit, which is really cool. And with one-shot killer, what comes to your mind in a particular ship and unit that they could potentially re-release for this? Strike Freedom and the Eternal and LACUS warship. As we know, both that unit, along with its pilot Kira Yamato, as well as the warship, have been very, very impactful. They've aged very well within the game. Even to this day, a lot of us still use that ship, a lot of us still use that unit and that pilot. And I know a lot of you who missed out have been waiting for it to come back. And I think if Bandai Namco really wants to appease to the fans, they should re-release that unit, that pilot, and the ship for this Master League. Now, I know some of you are going to be saying, well, as you've seen with the other Master Leagues, they don't really re-release limited time units. So why would they do it now? Why not? I think it's a great idea, especially with all the improvements they've made, especially, with the recent 6-month anniversary that this game just celebrated. I think this is a perfect opportunity for Bandai Namco to re-release Strike Freedom, Kira Yamato, and the Eternal and LACUS warship, especially for those of you that missed out on it and are still holding on to your gems and do want to pull for those units, so that way you guys can pull for them. Now, again, this is speculatory, so again, it's not official information. I'm just speculating, but I do think that it's going to be a really good idea if they really want to appease the fans to bring those particular units, warship, and pilot out. Now, if they don't, I think something that could also be mildly beneficial with One-Shot Killer is, for example, if they brought back Sazabi, for example. Sazabi is One-Shot Killer. And then there is another One-Shot Killer ship that is HP Restoration. Not as strong as Eternal and LACUS, but it is the one from Gundam X with Tifa. So they could do that if they decide to go that route of not featuring anything limited. But as you can see, with the 2 tags being featured on this, Alternative Series, Kira Yamato and Strike Freedom fit into that. One-Shot Killer, Kira Yamato and Strike Freedom also fit into that. And then afterwards, you got Eternal and LACUS, which is the most powerful one-shot killer ship that we have. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity if they do bring those back for this Master League and kind of shake things up a little bit. But again, this is all speculatory. I'm hoping that it does, especially for those of us that missed out. But if it doesn't, it is what it is. But you guys let me know in the comment section below. I'd like to see a little bit of discussion, kind of based around that, because I think it's going to be really cool, again, if Bandai Namco does shake things up a bit with these reruns and things like that. All right, guys. Well, that's going to go ahead and conclude the video. I'm excited for more content to come. Stay tuned for the next video and stay blessed, everybody.